What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we are going to be going over the top 10 centers in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. So lads, this is only going to be primary centers. It's not going to be any power forwards that can play center. So for example, someone like, well, that would basically mean someone like a Kevin Garnett is not eligible for this list. But before we get on to it, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are trying to hit 240,000 subs by the end of the month. It's going to be very, very close one. We've got just over a week to do it. And yeah, if you guys want to learn more about just my team in general, this is honestly the best place for it. Well, there's most my team content here. If you guys want to learn about the game mode, this is definitely the best place on YouTube. But anyway, now let's get on to it. So before we get into the main part of the video, let's go through a few honorable mentions. So, one honorable mention that I think a lot of people would have on their list is a Karl Anthony Towns. Another player we have in the honorable mentions is Yao Ming. Yao Ming, just because he's unstoppable. Someone like a Bill Russell isn't there. You can say he's an honorable mention. Kristaps. One player I was very kind of reluctant to leave off, but I realized I kind of have to, is Boogie Cousins. Obviously, Jack Sikma is a very underrated player. Isn't quite good enough in my opinion to make a list, but again, still really, really good. And then obviously Ben Wallace, who is one of the new free cards. Dino Raja, if you're looking at the lower tier. Then from Diamond and lower, I don't really think there's any top tier centers. There's a few decent ones, but I don't think there's any like top tier at that like Diamond or lower. But anyway, now let's get on to it. At number 10, we have got Kevin McHale. So Kevin McHale was the reward for completing My Team Unlimited in Season 4. And at the time he came out, if you got him in the first day or two, he was the best player in the game, let's be real. He was better than Jimmy, he was better than Wade. He was the best player in the game when he came out. It's just obviously at the end of Season 5, we've got a lot of really good centers. So McHale has got 17 Hoff badges. Nearly all of them are on the defensive end. Like literally 12 of them are defensive badges, which is insane. He's got a really nice dunk, really decent three ball as well, great release. He's got really good defensive stats, really good speed. The only problem with him is that he's got Trae Young release on normal timing. He's at the Pro 1 escape, which on next gen is not terrible. He actually gets some really nice animations out of that. His dribbling's pretty good on next gen. But as much as I will say Trae Young base on normal isn't the worst thing in the world, on next gen it is kind of weak on current gen, so for that reason I'm going to put him down in here at number 10, but you could definitely argue him higher. At number 9 we got Pau Gasol. So Pau is a recent card that came out, and I've used him on both gens. Pau is so much better than people are giving him credit for. He really is. Like what you are getting with Pau Gasol, basically you're getting 29 Hoff badges. He's got a bunch of defensive ones, a bunch of like playmaking badges, half range extender, 86 speed. Like stats wise, he's definitely as good, if not better, than Kevin McHale. Weird thing is they gave him Pro 2 on shifty dribble style, but like he's 7 foot, so he can't curry. It's such a weird one, like 2K giving Pro 2 to guys that the game physically won't let Pro 2. It's always a really weird one that I don't think 2K even know what cards specifically can and can't Pro 2. But he's the first player in the game to have a release on very quick. And there are definitely some releases that'll be bad on very quick. I'm just saying that now. Like if you've got a 6'2" point guard and they have, I'm trying to think of one that's super quick, base 3. If they've got base 3, or even if you're on current gen base 98 or Wade base, if you have a 6'2" point guard with that on very quick, it's going to be nearly impossible to green. So it's actually, there are very few releases that are benefited by it being on very quick, but Pau Gasol is one of them. Pro 2 escape, again, can't reuse it, but he does the profile behind the back, which is great on current gen. He can, his dribbling is pretty nice on next gen. He does move well, and his release is even better on next gen. So for me, Pau Gasol definitely deserves a spot at number 9. This list a great limited reward. I really wish that I didn't miss. I lost out on him because I played 14 games trying to get him the second last week, and I didn't get the ring, so I just wasn't even bothered getting the Hall of Fame badge. But yeah, really good card. Then at number 8 we got Hakeem Olajuwon. So Hakeem, I mean, there are certain things with Hakeem that he does better than Apau, and other things he doesn't do as well. So one big thing about Hakeem's is player model. Like, he just gets into some insanely good positions. Like, the way Hakeem boxes people out and just gets boards is crazy. Like, he can bully some of the smaller centers on this list. Like, he bullies a Moses Malone. Like, Hall of Fame showtime is huge. He's got 88 3 ball, really solid defensive stats. He's got a 90 driving dunk. So again, like, basically has everything you need on the card. Nearly 3,000 total stats, 81 speed of ball. He's got set shot 18, which is really good on next gen, not great on current gen. Dribble sigs are meh, like, honestly just meh. But again, you're not really going to be dribble. If you're using Hakeem, you're not really going to use him as a dribbler. But set shot 18 on current gen isn't great, to be honest. He's got Hall of Fame deep hooks though, which is quite an OP badge if you know what you're doing. He doesn't have any pro touch, so probably should give him goal pro touch if you're going to be using him as a post scorer. But nah, Hakeem deserves a spot on this list here at number 8. And number 7, Domantas Sabonis. Domantas Sabonis, one of the most underrated players in this entire game. So yeah, he's a little bit cheaper than Hakeem Olajuwon. Some people would say Hakeem is better than Sabonis. I am not in that group of people. So Sabonis, you got hot zones everywhere, 29 hot badges, 87 speed, 3,037 total stats. So he's got over those 3,000 total stat mark. He has also got really solid defensive stats. Got 79 ball handles. So again, if you have Frank Vogel and a floor general player on with him, he's going to be able to he's going to have that over 86 ball handle. But again, anything over 70 is fine on next gen, because he does come with gold and pluckable. Yeah, half range extender, half steady, which is blinders on next gen. Although I wouldn't really shot create with him on next gen. I've tried it, doesn't work too well, because his release is better on current gen than it is on next. He has also got a bunch of decent defensive badges like Intimidator. He's a great rebounder, and a big thing about him, the guy has got gold pro touch, half debucks. So he will post up people from everywhere, which is a huge thing. Which is an absolutely huge thing in my team. So his animations, they are pretty nice. They're not the best, but they are pretty nice. Base 10 is iffy. I'll be the first to admit that base 10 is definitely an iffy release. But at the end of the day, it's not awful. He's still got the Pro 3 escape, which gives him, I was about to say it gives him great boost on next gen, but again, you can't do it on next gen. Sorry, on current gen. On next gen, it's a not great one. Pro 4 behind the back isn't great, but still, Sabonis is, in my opinion, one of the better centers in the game. One of the more underrated cards, period, in this game. Like, I'm pretty sure I had him... did I have him number 1 on my best value list? Or close to it a couple of weeks ago. He's crazy good for like under 40k. At number 6, we got Moses Malone. So Malone's got Hall of Fame showtime. Half clamps, half quick first step. He's got great rebounding stats, but I will say this. He gets bullied a little bit inside. He really gets bullied. But if you're using like a Hakeem Olajuwon or like a big center, he will get bullied inside. But still, you've got a really nice ball handling center. Dribble sigs are awful. But again, sigs don't really matter on current gen when the boost is everything. He's a lot better on current gen than he is on next gen. He's an Eddie Jones release on quick, which is great, to be honest. Like, Eddie Jones release on quick is really good for my team. So he's just an elite shooting center who's also really fast, Hall of Fame showtime, and runs the floor very well. Is he a perfect card? No, he's that little bit small to say he's like this perfect card. I don't know why. He seems to get a rebound more than like an Anthony Davis, but he is without doubt one of the like 5 or 6 best centers in the game. So he came out as a token reward for the start of Season 5. And I don't think anyone who locked in for him up to this point has regretted that, because he's a great player. So, at number 5, we've got Anthony Davis. So you might be thinking, why do I have Anthony Davis number 5? I'm just not as high on him as most people are. His release is fine. It's decent. His dribbling is okay. He's got half quick first step, only goal clamps, still got some decent half badges on defense. He's got an 89 block, which is good, decent speed, Like, I think the big thing about Anthony Davis, he doesn't even have half showtime. I think it's just that he was like the first. He was the first of the absolutely elite big men to come out. I think people just got really comfortable with AD. Like, I'm going to be honest, I think that the top players just got really, really comfortable with cards. And like, comfortability with a card is like one of the most underrated things in the game. Like, being comfortable with a card, people don't realize the importance of that. It's the reason why Ty ran with Lonzo Ball as his starting point guard in 250k instead of Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is evidently the better card. I don't even think he'll argue Lonzo Ball's better. But like, he just played better because he was more comfortable with Lonzo Ball. And that is a big thing. Is like, I think that's why people are so high on AD, because stats-wise he's barely even better. He's not even better than Domantas Sabonis. But I do think he is that little bit better. I think 5 is a perfect spot for him. At number 4, we've got Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk's got his 29 goals. And one big thing about Dirk Nowitzki is that Dirk Nowitzki has got half showtime, which I don't really use too much. Because again, even when I play on current gen, I don't really dunk the ball a lot. So you can put Dirk higher, honestly, because of that. But again, these top 4, I think, are a significant amount better than AD. So Dirk's 7 foot tall, decent wingspan, half quick first step, goal clamps. He's got 89 speed with ball, which is really nice. He's got a 95 3 ball. And the thing with Dirk is they actually changed his release. He's got base 94 now. I'm not the biggest fan of that release. Like, I've used him on both gens. He's good, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, Dirk is good, but I don't think it's a great release. But he can quick stop. He gets the Pro 3 escape on next gen. He can't do it on current gen because of his height. He's got the Pro 4 behind the back, which isn't great. And yeah, just again, a really, really nice card in this game. And yeah, just really good, obviously. He's number 4. At number 3, we are going to put in Nikola Jokic. So again, a lot of people are going to have Dirk over Jokic, and I understand that. But I also don't understand that. Like, you've got a few extra Hall of Fame badges on Dirk. Yeah. Hall of Fame showtime on both of these guys. You've got 93 speed, 93 acceleration on Jokic. Jokic is so much better than Dirk stats-wise, just by the way. Like, he's so much better attribute-wise than Dirk Nowitzki. But he comes with not quite as many defensive badges, but in my opinion, a far superior release. Set shot 14. He doesn't come with quicker shifty dribble style, but at the end of the day, who cares about that on a center? Like, it really doesn't matter on a center. Like, it matters for a point guard, especially if you're on next gen, but it really doesn't matter. Pro 1 escape doesn't really matter, because again, he's too tall. But he's the Pro 6 behind the back on current gen, which is the best in the game. Although it's one of the worst in the game on next gen. I mean, Pro 4 is pretty awful as well, comparing to Dirk. But again, this is one that comes down to preference. And for me, I've said it since probably the day after they came out, when I got to use both of these guys a little bit. I've said it. I think that Jokic is the superior player. It's a close one, but yeah, for me, he is number 3. And number 2, we've got a guy that I would never use at center, but it's hard not to put this guy on the list. It really is. Like, Wes is one of the best cards, period, in the game. So it's hard not to put him on this list. 29 half badges. His release, absolutely crazy good. Like, just look at it. Like, half showtime. Just looking at his stats, he's got 93 speed. Total stats 3-1-2-3. As far as I'm aware, he had the highest total stats in the game when he came out. I think it's been overtaken by MJ and Zion, but still. He's got half quick first step. So many half defensive badges. Like, if you're looking at badges that actually matter, ankle breaker is a badge he doesn't have that matters. Deadeye. He has 2 badges. Yes, clutch shooter can matter in certain situations, so I'm not gonna say that's a worthless badge, but all the other badges he doesn't have, like the teardropper and stuff, are worthless badges. He's got basically everything you need on gold. He's got a total of 64 badges. His speed's ridiculous. His ball handling is crazy. He can curry on both gens. Kobe base on quick. Same release as Zion. Again, slasher dribble style is not great on next gen, but not the be all and end all for a power forward / center. I would use him a power forward 100%. He's my starting power forward. And yeah, I just think Wes Unseld is a fantastic, fantastic player. And number 1, and I don't think it's particularly close, David Robinson. So I still don't have D-Rob. I still do not have D-Rob on my account. I think I am like 12,000 XP off. And I thought 2K were going to give some like new high XP challenge, and they really just haven't. So like at this stage, with how little I'm playing the game, I'm just burnt out this season. I'm really just burnt out on 2K. I'll be back into it on Friday, don't worry. But it's kind of one of those things, like when you're not getting too much content. Like when I was hoping that we were gonna get one last international batch of cards today, that would have been really, really cool for me. But unfortunately we didn't. So I was like hoping to make some content around that, and obviously when there's no cards, it's tough to make content. And I'm just kind of overall just burnt out with the game mode. That kind of happens, but I'll get him eventually, and by eventually in the next 2 days, because D-Rob is too good to pass up on, especially when I'm on 135,000 XP. 93 3 ball, 91 speed, 91 acceleration. He has got 14 defensive badges. He has also got half quick first step, one of the best player builds in the game. He's got gold range extender, a fantastic release, David Robinson's own release on quick, Pro 3 escape, doesn't really matter, Pro 6 behind the back, great on current gen, and he's just one of the best players in the game on both gens. Like, is he the best player in the game right now? I mean, I really like Luka. I still think Luka might be. Jordan obviously is a thing. But I think can you say D-Rob's the best player in the game right now? I think he's in the conversation. He's debatable. He is debatably the best card in the game right now. There are a lot of cards. It all depends on how you play. But there are a lot of really good cards. Top tier cards, I mean. And D-Rob is most definitely one of those guys that are in the top tier. So yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is the list. At number 10, we have Kevin McHale. At number 9, Pau Gasol. At number 8, we have Hakeem Olajuwon. At number 7, Domantas Sabonis. At number 6, we've got Moses Malone. So again, a pretty strong like 10 through 6. I think Malone definitely is a standout with these players though. At number 5, we have got Anthony Davis. At number 4, Dirk Nowitzki. Number 3, Jokic. Number 2, Wes Unseld. At number 1, we have David Robinson, lads. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think, who you agree with, who you don't agree with. And again, this is all just my playstyle. I know some of you guys would have Shaq in the top 10 or honorable mentions. I just think he is too much of a liability. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.